he's gonna be that I'm gonna lay on top of the grenade guy. Like he's gonna let it to where everyone else can leave the ship, or
He can do the
Yeah.
thing that we think that Usopp might do, and then we don't need to see it because it's like, okay, well, I saw Pedro and Helmeppo do it. Usopp.
yeah.
What's up, everybody? It is Sword Week. We are the Grand Line Gazette, your one true place for One Piece content. That's CJ, that's Kev, I'm Corey. It is Sword Week, like I said, and today we are talking about Helmeppo. Lieutenant Commander Helmeppo. Officially the lowest rank we know in the Marines, outside of Petty Officer and Chore Boy.
Yeah.
Which is saying something because it's been 2.5 years, and we'll get into that. If you are new to the channel, we have a Sword playlist where we talk about all the Sword members. We have talked about Drake, we have talked about Kujaku, we have talked about Prince Groose, and today is Helmeppo. First impressions on the Baratier when we meet Helmeppo. I would like to say, dumb haircut. It was the bowl cut.
Dumb haircut.
He was also wearing a purple suit. Also dumb.
I ain't going. Hey, players gonna play. I understand. I can't hate on the man for his drip. That was pretty fire. But the haircut threw me off. Lord Farquaad vibes from him. Really punchable face, because I hated Morgan, which then this is just Morgan's son to me, so I hate him just as much, if not more.
Helmeppo, the Nepo baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Did it come back?
Hey,
Yes,
you
it did.
teleported. I didn't know we were gone.
Anyway, we met him before the Baratier.
Oh.
My bad.
With Zoro. Yeah, with Zoro. Yeah,
Yeah.
we met him with Zoro. You're right.
Yeah.
He was the one, and he took Zoro. It's kind of funny. In the live action, they have him in like his bedroom after he took Zoro's swords. He's like practicing with his swords in the mirror. Like, oh, you nerd. You fucking nerd.
Oh wow!
Yeah, what up?
Hey.
Son of Axehand Morgan. In the East Blue, I guess that brings some kind of notoriety that he thought carried around.
Yeah.
It's like, I think we know military people, so we've all been to an Air Force base, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was walking around the Air Force base talking big shit. Once he gets off base, they're like, "Who? Have you tried telling anybody at all
That's it exactly.
in America when you meet them? They're like, where are you from? You're like, Edwards Air Force Base. They're like, what? You're like, Scott Air Force Base. They're like, what? They don't know where that's at. You know what I mean? Like,
No, you
Helmeppo, bro, get it together. And once he stops being a big fish in a small pond, he's just like, he's like a fucking magic carp.
And
He's
it's
like
the
a goldfish.
smallest
that
of
just don't
ponds.
grow.
You're in the East Blue, the weakest of the seas,
Yeah.
and you acting like you're acting like you're the one who's arresting everybody. You're the one that's stopping all the violence or whatever. And after the fact that your dad is a dictator and on some crazy shit.
And then even past that, it's like the people aren't afraid of your dad, bro. They're afraid of hitting you and going to jail. Like, they're not worried about your dad being Axehand Morgan. You're in the military. Yeah, you're not in the military, but it's like, it's
If we assault you, we go to prison.
you're just
or
sitting
at
there
least
talking shit.
incur the wrath of the military.
Yeah, but that's when we meet Helmeppo. He joins the military with Kobe. They become chore boys. That's where the Garp adventures begin, where they become training under Garp and Bogard.
Sure.
Mhm.
Tell
He
me,
is there.
Helmeppo.
Anytime you can slip Bogart in there, you will.
I respect it. I
Where
respect
where
it.
Helmeppo get the trench coat idea?
I
It wasn't
agree.
Garp. All right, it wasn't Morgan. Okay.
That's disappointing.
All right,
That is
then.
disappointing. That's
Okay,
disappointing.
let's move
Don't
on.
say that. Don't say that. Because you're putting it on Bogart, and if Bogart had a hand in training Helmeppo and Helmeppo's mid,
No, whoa. I said he wear a trench coat because of Bogart. He got two swords because he wants to be like Zoro.
True.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean,
Zoro ain't had a hand in teaching him nothing. So,
Okay. Oh, he's just a fighter. He samples everybody's stuff and tries to throw it together in a blender.
but yeah, we're getting lost in the sauce on this Helmeppo thing. What happened next with Helmeppo? So they're training. I guess like okay, Helmeppo's first. This is supposed to be a sword video. We're supposed to be talking about Helmeppo and sword. I'm going through like this like it's a One Piece character breakdown. I'm about to talk about him in like
But
Kobe.
to answer your question, next time we see him is when Garp dropped who was Luffy's dad,
Yeah.
because they were out there sparring with Zoro and Luffy. They couldn't hold a candle to them, and then after that was the big old gap,
So
where we don't see Submarine 4.
I did. The reason I was bringing up that point was, is that the point where Helmeppo is like, okay, like something's got to give. Like I gotta start like actually like working, or was it Marineford, or was it a secret third event that caused him to nut up and I guess join Sword, or do you think he literally just went
to follow
It
Kobe.
was
to follow Kobe or to save Kobe?
I think
it was
to follow.
the thing where Axe Morgan kidnapped him, and then Kobe went to go save him. Then it was the thing where they were training, and he inspired Kobe to work. Then it was the thing at Marineford where he saw what Kobe did and everything thereafter. So he gets these little, like, if you're playing Mario Kart and go over the little boosts, like, he had a trajectory, and these little moments give him more, but he hasn't really done anything with it.
Well,
He's
so
like Ace in that regard.
I think it's mainly Marineford. And I'd say there are two events at Marineford kind of throw Helmeppo off quite a bit. Helmeppo and Kobe both witnessed Akainu dishing out that wrath on that soldier trying to dip out from battle. What does that tell you guys? We're all in the military. We're all from the military families. You know, like if our parents see that in the battlefield, like that's a colleague, that's a brother that's right there that's dying. And so maybe they don't give a shit about me. And then Akainu almost killing Kobe later on in the same fight. Maybe he's more scared for himself too. Like, I don't want to be around this guy. He's gonna kill anybody he wants.
Had moments like that.
You bring up a good point. You bring up a good point where he's like, yo, I see what the senior officers like. Helmeppo has a perspective. You know what I mean? He has a nice perspective up there from the boat with Toshigi while everybody is fighting. But like holistically, like he's seen some shit. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't wrong. View's nice up there. View's nice.
That comes down to him and his conviction, because Kobe made the decision about doing this stuff. Luffy makes the decision about doing this stuff. But whenever Helmeppo is met with any type of resistance or something buffers him to stop him from getting where he wants to do, he's already looking for the exit. That's his first response.
Speaking about looking and speaking about all this, it's been stated that he has compared Kobe's observation hockey to his. So he has better. Look it up.
Yeah,
Kev.
I know.
I hear you.
But
yeah, I'm gonna have to see it.
His observation. I mean, we're talking about.
I get it.
People sitting back watching it all. He's the one when Kobe's freezing up. He's the one shaking him. This is why I equated him to Usopp, because like sometimes it's like Usopp is the one that gets you like, okay, Usopp's telling me to nut up. All right, let me focus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's who I think about when I think about Helmeppo is Usopp. 110%. Every single. It's like, I think we will see him grow into being a decent swordsman of sorts, fighter somehow. Usopp's going to take that great step, but Helmeppo will have his own little, like, empowerment there as well. He has to, because especially if he's going to stay in the Marines, unless that's going to be a catalyst for Kobe, like him dying.
Yeah, because it's like, if we go back to your Suicide Squad idea, Corey, like, what is his role? Swordsman? Okay, sure.
But that's Tashigi's. Like, that's not. Or I guess no.
Yeah, it's like, is she in it, or was she just like, we gotta find out what's Tashigi. All of the fifth, what are they called? Like the G5 or something.
Oh, okay,
Marine. The captain.
They're kind
Vice
of
admirals.
What's up?
Are they vice admirals?
No, smokers people.
Yeah, they're kind of like
Oh,
they're
I
kind
know
of
what
like
you're
a
talking
crew
about. I
that
don't
kind
remember
of
the
does
name.
their own thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
march to their own drum, but not sword.
Yeah. So I'm
So
wondering
yeah,
if
it is
Tashigi
very
is like, I mean, I'm not gonna miss him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna
no.
miss that whole thing where they're like, "Oh yeah, anything for you, Tashigi." Yeah, okay. Then stay
Cool.
home. How about that?
Right, right,
Stay there.
right.
Jeez.
But
Yeah, I 1000% hate her arc.
I
I'm just
hope
yeah.
Helmeppo is the swordsman. Like I hope he takes that seriously, or maybe he can be like the scope. Like he doesn't have to be the sniper, but he can be like the fucking Neji. You know what I'm saying?
But that would just be even more ridiculous
But I want to be
unless
the
you
swordsman
use.
because I love them swords. Some of my favorite kinds of
And it's like,
swords.
okay, cool. So you're using observation hockey while you're using the sword. So you're like predicting their movements. They're telegraphing them, and you can
No,
see it. And
like when
then
you're running in a line on like some Sasuke retrieval mission, and like Neji was in that certain point because he could sense where everything was going to protect everybody,
Gotcha.
and then you
yeah,
just so happen to be a swordsman.
I would rather throw that to Habari. But I feel you.
I'm not. Look,
No.
until
Habari's Sakura in this
proven
instance,
otherwise, I'm not. You shoot out your flower petals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
you
She's
don't
only
get
here
frozen.
to love on Kobe.
There's
Like
a
I
lot
feel
of
like
people
that's
here.
her
There's
only
a lot
role.
of people here. One of them's frozen. You know what I'm saying? So impress me.
Two, two. Didn't Garp get froze?
Yeah,
Sure.
sacrificing and after fighting and everybody was fighting him. That's different.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Watch this.
All
Watch
right.
this. YouTube this right now. Hibari versus. It's just gonna be blank. I hope he's.
They're
a
gonna say
swordsman.
like the natives of Hachinosu. That's what they're gonna say.
Miscellaneous
Hibari
pirates.
versus random guns.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think he can be some.
And it's not
Right
even
now,
her thing. It's Vegapunk's tech.
right now, Helmeppo is not special. He is a part of
Yeah.
S.W.O.R.D, so I think he will have his own role to play. I think he's going to be. He has to be an incredible catalyst for us, one way or the other. I don't know if that's him laying down his life to protect Kobe, and that maybe tells him to greater fiefdom or that. I don't imagine he's going to be that strong at the end of it, but I think he will be somebody formidable. I don't think he's going to, insert Marine Z here, but
Yeah.
like,
he's gonna. I think he's important
watch
to
this.
Kobe.
We kind of just found out about this rank, Rear Admiral. You know what I mean? In the future, he's a Rear Admiral. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh, okay, cool. I don't want you to be an admiral. I don't want you. I don't think you're like.
I think you
Yeah.
found your spot. Yeah.
You stay
You
here.
got it.
Like,
Here's your ceiling.
I like the perfect place for like a Helmeppo was like, it's like people are running onto ships and stuff, and you always got one guy that's like, that's like Helmeppo activity.
And I mean, I'm not going to knock out of the opportunity
There's
for
the
him to get a devil fruit later too. I mean, there's always
That
the
would help.
chance
That would help.
something decent. I mean, we just don't know, but we know he's in the right place. He's on a good squad to find powerful fruits.
Yeah.
Because S.W.O.R.D is always going to be attacking somebody powerful. I don't think they're handling middle of the road pirate. So I think he's going to have opportunity to find good fruits or at least get battle.
Yeah,
So,
and
he's on the rise. He's on the rise.
like Chris was saying earlier, as far as like that Suicide Squad approach, I mean, you got the Diet Captain America, the Thunderbolts. Full trailer came
There you
out.
go.
That was pretty cool. I watched that. Y'all should watch it too. But Thunderbolts
Sure.
is just another Suicide Squad, and I think more people have seen Suicide Squad, so let's talk about that. But if this is like a Suicide Squad, you have your Diet Captain America. All right, that's Kobe. You got your Bruiser. That's going to be Drake. You got your lady that can control random things. That's your Kujaku. You have your Elemental. That's Groose. And then you got your Liability Girl. That's Hibari.
Yeah.
And so, like, you always have a wild card. Helmeppo is that wild card. We don't know what he's going to do. He could be useless. he could be one of the most useful people on the team.
I'm telling. I keep coming back to it because I really feel like it's going to be S.W.O.R.D. He's going to be that I'm going to lay on top of the grenade guy. Like, he's going to let it to where everyone else can leave the ship, or
he can do the thing that we think that Usopp might do, and then we don't need to see it because it's like, okay, well, I saw Pedro and Helmeppo do it. Usopp,
yeah.
Ooh, that Pedro thing almost didn't give me my fix, but the Helmeppo suicide, ooh, I don't need it.
We had to bring that up, huh? Oh, I didn't know we were gonna cry tonight.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is the reaction I wanted to see every time I said Pedro. I used to say Pedro, and Kemp would be like,
like, I saw this guy like 4 times. What are we talking about?
Like, what we do?
He fought a chicken. Like, what are we talking
now
about?
you get the shout out at Gear 5th shout out when he's like, yeah, Pedro, Momo.
I appreciate it more now, but I mean, great. Actually, I actually like that more because I think he believes in Kobe the way that Pedro believes in the dawn or the new age, or I think that's truly what it is.
Tough.
So if you do want to that to be his ending to kind of parallel Luffy in that way, I don't hate it. I think he has a more emotional support anyways, so losing him in a physical fight probably.
I feel like,
but
like with what you guys are saying with him doing something self-sacrificial, that would be, I guess, something for him, and I guess it would go into his arc, whereas like you were the selfish one in the very beginning, and now you're willing to lay your life down. In the beginning, you were trying to take somebody's, but now you're doing this so that your comrades, your crew, for lack of better words, are able to keep going forward. I would like and appreciate that. It just depends on how he dies. I'm thinking it's something along the lines where he's like, I have to do something. I'm out of options. This is the only thing I got.
And maybe not even for him, maybe for the sake of like redeeming his father's name and his family's name.
Yeah.
Him and Drake have a
like, I hate the idea of always having like this legacy thing being like the same thing, but I wouldn't hate it if like he had an arm cut off or lost a hand and got like a fucking new hand, and maybe the hand's just a weapon. Maybe it's an axe. Maybe it's a little mace thing. Maybe it's like a little robot hand. We're in the future now.
Him getting a little axe just like his dad, that'd be
okay. When I was thinking it, I was like, maybe this is dumb.
Yeah. That would be pretty interesting. Because they'd be like, wait, there used to be a pirate named Axe. Fuck, this guy again.
Axeman Morgan, Helmeppo Morgan. He's still on the rise. He's still terrorizing. That was you in the East Blue the whole time, and now you're with the Marines.
Yeah, that'd be a thing to
still. Yeah.
But no, I think he has some room to grow. I don't hate him like I used to, so kudos to him.
Yeah.
I used to hate every time he was on screen.
Yeah. Oda just has a lot on his plate because so many damn characters. So it's just wishful thinking and me just hoping to see more from it. Like, if I don't, I get it. It is what it is. But just for me to appreciate Helmeppo more and see something, I like the idea of self-sacrificing because then it at least furthers his arc. I just need to see his arc keep going. Because if he doesn't go, you might as well just kill him now.
Was he at during the time skip? Was he at the event with Kobe?
Rocky Point, I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't think so either. It doesn't say it in here either, so maybe we don't really.
Yeah, because that'd be
a good place to throw in some accolades at least. You know, like chop a few people down, do something.
Yep.
That would be dope if we got a flashback to Rocky Point. We see this dude doing like the fucking twister with the dual fucking curved swords.
That would be something. Thank you.
That'd be sweet.
I just need
like if nowhere we see that and then he's doing the Kinemon thing in Wano.
It's or exactly. It's just basically the same move as Sanji. It could be the same thing Sanji's doing when he's like spinning. He doesn't do that too much anymore.
Don't need to.
He doesn't need to because that was an AOE.
He's facing people AOE like Lucci, dog.
Yeah, that was an AOE move to get her for crowd control. He don't need to do that no more. He's fast. He can dip. He can run in the air, bro. You don't need it.
I don't think
I hear you.
I don't think Helmeppo's that fast, so that'd be cool to see that move.
Hell no.
As far
Yeah.
as being on Sword, the Suicide Squad of the One Piece world, um, what do you guys think? Do you think he's going to survive till the final arcs, or do you think he'll be dispatched before then?
I would appreciate him making it to the very end, just because he was a comrade and brother to Kobe, given his particular arc, and it would be something where Kobe saw Luffy say that he's going to do this shit. Then Kobe got inspired by Luffy, inspired Helmeppo, and then they both end up saying the Don, and it's like, oh, whoa, I would appreciate that. Because it's like now it's full circle. You really started on some BS way back in the weakest part of the East Blue. Now you're on the ship competing for the One Piece and everything, backing up Kobe. What a trend!
I think he would be a good catalyst to, because one thing that we really, really don't lack is the motivation that Kobe wants for getting the One Piece. Like, he's like, I gotta do it because I think it's just gonna go bad if like a pirate gets it and Luffy's a pirate, so I have to get it before. Like, if something happened to Helmeppo and he's like, bro, you gotta get the One Piece. Like, you gotta fix all this. Like, then it's no questions. Then it's like,
Right,
Luffy, I don't care what you're saying. This is for Helmeppo.
right. Because right now Kobe doesn't really have a desire other than I want it so they don't have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's not strong
You know,
enough when it
that's
comes.
not enough.
That's not strong
I
enough when it comes
agree.
to One Piece. Like,
I
One
agree.
Piece,
That's
King of
not
the
enough.
Pirate stuff, you gotta have that will. You gotta have that
You gotta have
conqueror's
the
hockey
dog.
will. You can't be doing
Yeah.
stuff because you don't want other people to.
I think Oda could write it. I think Oda could write it either way and do really well. He could lose his
Yeah.
life, lose an arm, and that could be a catalyst for Kobe to kind of step forward. But I mean, I wouldn't hate him being there to help Kobe rebuild the Pirates in a better image. I think that would give him kind of closure as far as, destaining his family name.
Yeah.
I think he has a possible history where he could, or a future where he could kind of really revamp his name. I think
I'm telling
We're
you,
here
I
for
want him and Drake to talk about their OGs. Both of them were in the military. Both of them did some fuck shit, so they got either arrested or kicked out and everything. And now both of you are trying to continue. That was like to Kevin's point with the legacy thing. That's something I would appreciate.
Yeah, if we got just more like, I think we understand what we're gonna get from Helmeppo in a fight.
Hmm.
Let's just listen to him talk to people. Like,
And-
I'll take that.
I
Yes.
wanna also say, like, it's not like Luffy with his dad. Like, Helmeppo was raised by his dad to be an asshole, and he was an
Yep.
asshole for many years. Where if I think about Luffy and his motivation with his dad, he's like, I don't give a shit about that guy.
I have a dad.
In my head, Shanks is more of his
Yeah.
dad than Dragon will ever be.
Yeah.
So
Or
I
Garp.
think that
Yeah.
sure. But I think for Helmeppo, like, he was an asshole for so long. He does have a responsibility to kind of, do more good than Luffy does, because Luffy's dad wasn't.
Do you
his
guys think
responsibility.
Sword will go the route of the Heart Pirates or the Kid Pirates? And by that I mean, like, we're down to the final contenders for the One Piece. You think they're going to be the first ones out and you're out the race? Or do you think they'll make it to the end game?
I mean, they already made it past. They're not the first ones out the race.
Yeah,
We already
but
got
we're
two
in
people out
the
the race.
we're in the Elite Eight. So it was like, how far did they make it up the bracket?
That's interesting. That's an interesting
Right.
way to put it. We might have to think about that. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about Helmeppo, the Nepo baby?
Helmeppo, the Nepo baby, is going to be the title. That's insane.
I've been thinking about that all day.
Yeah.
But what do y'all think?
Good
Write
one.
it down in the comments below. Do you guys think he's going to be? What do you think his part is in these final sagas? Where do you think his part is in the final fight, leading up to the final fight? Do you think S.W.O.R.D will still be an entity? I said in the last video that a lot of these people have to be comparable to like Straw Hat power levels. I guess then we're putting Usopp at like that same level. I mean, do we think Usopp's stronger than? That's a legitimate question. Like
that is a legit.
We have not seen any Helmeppo feats. We have not seen any Helmeppo
sad.
feats. Do we think Helmeppo is comparable to Usopp, or do you think Usopp shits on him?
I don't know, because
Usopp had that fight. He had a struggle, and he fought by himself out there in the on the bug island with all the plants.
That's fair.
Yeah,
but he was trained by Garp. I know he wasn't like the prize student, but that's something.
Yes, it is. It's like, look at the people Garp has trained, and it's like, yo, it's not Usopp's not in there. And it's like, even if you have your two swords and anything, and Usopp starts firing off pop greens, because again, he's a gardener or botanist now for some reason. He don't fire bullets. He's cutting them down like weed whackers.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying one person's beating anybody. I'm just saying, like when you're playing like Dragon Ball Z games, it's coming out in a couple days, y'all. And you're like, let's just pick like the weaker people. Like, don't pick nobody too strong. Let's do like pre Saiyan Saga. You know what I mean? Like nobody too strong.
Yeah, so he's your Yamcha or your Chaozu.
It's like a Yamcha versus TA. But
yeah.
I mean, we're getting pretty. I feel like this video's been all over the place. I don't even know how we can even talk about like him compared.
There's nothing to really talk about him.
Yeah,
we don't really have anything.
Like in regards to like S.W.O.R.D, it's like, why are you here, bro?
Okay. I know I mentioned the Elite Eight earlier, but I was just thinking about this because they're S.W.O.R.D, because they're burned by the military where nothing can come back. They're like disavowed more or less. Do you think, to save face at one point in time, the Marines are going to attack S.W.O.R.D and be like, these are like some sect that doesn't roll with us, and to save face in front of the public eye, we had to get rid of them?
I think that's a possibility, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
I feel it.
Like, because the public don't like them now. There's nothing S.W.O.R.D's gonna do is gonna be like.
No, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean. The public doesn't like the Marines at all, but
I understand to use them to try to get good graces, but it's like, what kind of situation could you possibly use them to blame anything? Like, they don't like you because they know you're lying about the history of the world.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
Like nothing S.W.O.R.D can. Nothing, you can't blame shit on them.
Yeah. And that's going to be a hard sell anyway, because if S.W.O.R.D was founded by Garp, you got one hero, and then you got the face of S.W.O.R.D, which is Kobe, which is another hero. They're not going to. You're right. Okay. That's fair.
You think S.W.O.R.D was started by Garp?
I think so.
Well, I guess that's a discussion for another time.
For another day.
All right, everybody. We will catch y'all later.
Peace.